Welcome everyone to Cloud Delight YouTube channel. This is the place where we learn technology. Today our topic is Identity Center hands-on. Previously we have covered the theory aspect of Identity Center in the previous videos, so please feel free to go to the description box for the link uh, for theory section. Now today in the practical aspects, let's concentrate on what all is included as part of Identity Center. So usually Identity Center is a place where we manage all the access related things for users groups on a multi account strategy or a different accounts which we have created under an organization. Whenever we are using landing zone setup, all these things, it is a centralized management. And also this is predominantly called as a successor of SSO, so you will be able to use all the features and functionalities of SSO. Now the main topic which we will cover as part of hands-on is on the permission sets. What are permission sets? Permission sets define the level of access that users in IAM Identity Center have to their assigned AWS accounts. The name permission sets appear as available roles in the AWS Access portal. Users who are assigned to multiple AWS permission sets can sign into the AWS Access portal, choose an account, and then choose a role that AWS created from an assigned. See, assigned permission sets. If you see here, this is one of the screenshots which I've taken. If you see there if you have assigned to a project, as soon as you log into the get assigned to a project, and then you give you are given SSO login credentials. That's when you will get to see all these things. You have different accounts and then different roles which are mapped to a different account. Based on your requirement, you will be able to log into different accounts. So that's the whole thing which we will be achieving. How do we get this URL? Now with Identity Center in the dashboard section, we have previously seen that there is an SSO URL that gets generated by default when we create a landing zone setup. So this is the default URL which has come up. The Cloud Delight is the customization which I have done. Otherwise it will be, if you guys are doing it, it will be d hyphen something, where you will be able to go customize whatever is your requirement. In the settings, you have the identity source which you can change it also. Change identity source, you have an active directory, external identity center, identity provider. For now we'll be choosing identity center directory itself. We'll keep it default. Now if on the authentication side, you can enable multi-factor authentication, and also in the session settings you will be able to define maximum session duration of which it will ask for re-authentication. So those things you will be able to do as part of Identity Center. Quickly, what we'll do, we'll first create a user for having the access to the portal. Now add user. A couple of things you will have to keep in mind here. Whatever the user you are giving, the email IDs should be unique. You cannot use the same email ID for two users. So what I'm using here is the Gmail ID which I have it. Whatever you have it, you can use it, but it should not be repeated. So I'm using the unique one here. So this is the display name. This display name is nothing but what will get displayed in the account. Now if you see here, if you want to assign this to any group, you can choose it. For now I'm not choosing anything. I am just adding the user. Now I've added the test user credentials here. Now what I'll be doing here is I'll choose here, and then if you see not verified, immediately we'll have to log into the Gmail for the verification to happen. How an email ID would be generated is that if you see here, it is an invitation to join IAM Identity Center successor to AWS single sign-on. If you see the entire description, your organization AWS account uses AWS Identity Center to provide access to AWS account. So we are supposed to do the accept invitation within 7 days. If you miss to do that, then again the user has to reinitiate the email ID credentials. Now if you see your AWS Access portal, clouddelight.awsapps.com, whatever we saw in the dashboard section of the Identity Center, the same thing is shown up here in the email also. So what I'll do, I'll click on accept invitation. So what it will do, it will ask me for the password. If you see in the user creation, never it has asked me for password creation. Now it is asking me. I'll set the password. Once I set the password, I will be able to log into the portal. Now the successfully created. Now if you see, we have not assigned the user with any of the account access. So what I'll do, I'll click here. I will give the password and see what it shows up. You don't have any applications. Exactly, because I have not given any account mapping to this particular account. So what I'll do, I'll quickly go here, refresh this, and I will go to the particular account. This is how I assign a user to a specific AWS account in the organization. So if I quickly come here, if you see, there are a couple of organization units here, of which for practical purpose I'm choosing only the audit account and log archive accounts are the accounts which are available. So what I'll do, I'll choose the audit account. Okay, if you go here also, this is the organization structure. Go to identity center, select the audit account, say this test user wants to log into only the audit account, assign user to the group. If you see users and groups, I'll choose the user. Test user is the user which I have created just now. Here, if you see, in the last video we have covered up the common permission sets and job oriented permission sets. Everything will be listed here. These are the default permission sets which AWS provides and created by its own. We will be able to pick and choose the permission sets. Now I'll go for administrator access. Okay, and then click on next. This is the default permission which I have given for this, and submit. Now if you see, it is configuring one of the accounts for that user, of which once it is configured, what we will do, we'll go to the dashboard or the email which I had. I will copy this link, and then I will, if you see here, you have already logged into this. If you see, now you have the audit account. Go back to this. What is the audit account? 486. You have 486 assigned to this. Now if you see here, you have an admin access role assigned. Now what I will do, for the same account, if I assign the user with different read-only access, so I'll go to AWS accounts. I want to assign now read-only access. The test user either can log in using read-only whenever he wants to see just a couple of things. When he wants to have an admin access on the same account, he can log in through admin access also. Now what I'll do, I'll go to audit account. Okay, we will do is, we will choose log archive account and then assign user. For log archive, I want this test user just to have read-only permissions. I'll go to read only permissions and then next, submit. Now it is getting configured. Now if I see this URL once it is created, if you go here and refresh, it should have two accounts mapping. If you click on the audit account, test user is having admin access. On log archive account, he is having read only access. Once you log into these accounts, you will have respective access to this particular user. So this is the second part of hands-on for Identity Center. We have couple of other things which we can show up as part of Identity Center itself. So this is all for this video. We'll come up with more content. Thanks for tuning in, and until we meet again, thank you so much.